Welcome back to part 4 of the Mega Man ZX Let's Play Model O. Should I come up with like a better name for these? Like, I know Model O Let's Play is what I'm going to keep using in the titles because that's simple, self-explanatory, and it's good SEO. But should I come up with like a better name for these? Like a Messiah Run, Ultimate Biometal Run? I don't know. I mean, I wanted to. I had like multiple ideas. I think I forgot one of them. But I just decided to stick with the simple. Okay, so last part I mentioned that the plant level was is usually considered the best level to start with. And I decided that it's probably the second easiest too, so I might as well take care of it now. Also, last part, I briefly mentioned that I couldn't talk about something that happened during the boss fight because I was out of time, and now I got plenty of it. Alright, so each boss is using a biometal that you get after you beat them, and that biometal is on a certain part of their body. So when you're fighting them, don't hit certain part. If you hit a certain part of their body, then it'll damage the biometal, and when you get it, it'll have a lower energy capacity. You can fix it, spend money to upgrade it, and get it up to its max. But that's what the levels mean. Lower level means that you damaged it more. There's plenty of Let's Plays you can find on YouTube, like Clements, that go for all level 4 victories. I don't care. On a personal playthrough, I don't, just because if you're at least somewhat careful, it's not hard to not damage them enough so that you don't have to worry about... I'm phrasing this weird. It's not too hard to get enough money to spend to fix them all in normal play. The plant, it's still active and producing energy. According to the database, it's been offline ever since the Maverick raid. There's something fishy going on. Be careful, Ale. Okay, that was worthwhile. What was I talking about? I don't know. Something about level 4 victories, whatever. Okay, yeah, right, why I'm not going for it. In the Let's Play, I'm not going for it for a couple reasons. First off, that would take a lot of practice, because I've never done it. And quite frankly, I don't feel like doing it. Also, since I'm not going to be using the biometals, there's no point in being careful about getting them up to max. And then, of course, finally, for a story-based reason, Omega doesn't give a shit if he damages the biometals. He's a bloodthirsty god of destruction. Whatever. Alright then. So this is the plant. Area E, it's thankfully a lot easier to find than Area F was. Despite the fact that they are alphabetically right next to each other. This one is just to the right of the city. Not even difficult to find it in the slightest. And I also mentioned in the highway level a couple parts back that I was talking about its soundtrack, that stage's soundtrack, but I don't think I was talking about this game's soundtrack as a whole. As I'll say it, I'm not really a huge fan of it. It's fine, but I don't remember any of the songs from the game, though that could just be because I haven't played it enough. This song's good. I quite like this. These enemies, I hate these fucking things. Here's the gimmick. They shoot, they aim for you, they're only open for a little bit, and they're invincible if they're not open. And every time they shoot, their next shot gets more powerful, up to a certain point. Faster, bigger, does more damage, I think. The only advantage you have is that they can't shoot downwards. So if the level design allows it, you can stand below them and take these gears. If you can get across them, you can get to another path. Does it matter? Yes. Why? That wall looks a little bit suspicious. You can walk through it. Oh, some health. Oh, but that's not all. You can go through it again. You got to deal with that hell, granted. That's what I mean about they can't shoot downwards. But the level design does not always allow for that. So, take advantage of it when you can, but you got to get used to the timing to beat them at all. So the gimmick of this stage is a lot of moving machinery. You got conveyor belts, sort of electric things, these enemy producers. Don't think you can grind these. Those guys don't ever drop anything, as far as I'm aware. However, It's not that hard to deal with all this stuff, but let's say maybe you're not as good. Maybe it is an issue. What can you do to fix it? What's that thing? Oh, I broke it. You just shut off the power to the plant. Prairie said there wasn't supposed to be energy being produced here. You just made sure that she was right. You fixed the timeline, I suppose. So doing that shuts off power across the plant and just makes the level a lot easier. And all you have to do to get up here is just not even that hard platforming. So yeah, do this. There's another level later on where you can do something. You can go off the beaten path to make the rest of the level easier. That one I don't recommend, because that one is a humongous, gigantic, impossible pain in the ass. I'll explain that in a while. We got a while before that's relevant. Yeah, I always check those corners, because like one or two of them have something hidden on them. And here's why you want to turn it off. You want that conveyor belt not moving, so that you can dash jump it. Oh, what's that? Me fucking up, as you can see. And of course, that guy respawned, so... And he knocked me off again. This is like the only time outside of a boss fight I'm using the charge slash. And there we go, a sub-tank. Thankfully, sub-tanks aren't as, what's the word? Strict about having biometals than over life-ups. So you can get at least a couple of them without having to use a biometal. And it's you again. He's got a bit of a different... He has all the same attacks as the other guy, but you wouldn't know it because when he spun his treads in the last fight, he was just spinning the conveyor belt. When he spins them in this fight, he's actually moving forward since there is no conveyor belt. And here's an annoying little thing. Since you lose your biometal's overdrive anytime you take damage, and when he was crashing into the wall and I was getting knocked off, I wasn't taking damage, but I was still getting stunned, and that counts as losing your overdrive. But if you get the chance to stand on the ground as he aims for you, you just fucking won the fight right there. What are these things? I saw one when Jiro disappeared. The signature... Cyber Elves? Cyber Elves? What's a Cyber Elf? Sentient programs created with pure energy and made in the image of elves. I don't understand why there's so many of them here. That power plant. It must be using the Cyber Elves to generate power. Looks like we found out what's up with this place. Unbelievable. Cyber Elves are all sentient beings like the rest of us. Ale, please, you must shut down that power plant. So hey, Cyber Elves. Yeah, this isn't the first time they're brought back. You know, we did, as Ale pointed out, we did see Jiro turn into one, but they are not nearly as prevalent as they were in the Zero series, you know? They're not... I mean, they were barely story prevalent in the Zero series at all, besides X. And they're no longer a gameplay, element. So there's your little, point, and I think there was a power plant with Cyber Elves in the 4th game? Or was that the 3rd? No, that was the 4th game. Or at the very least they were storing Cyber Elves. Oh no, yeah, and then in the 3rd game there was that plant where they were making baby elves. Okay, so I'm either way, this is not the first time this has been done, so I guess you can call that a callback. And you know, speaking of callbacks, those flashback images you saw, as you probably guessed either from having played this game before or just from the fact that we're only seeing them now, those are not in the game. I edited those in. And I'll be honest, I really wish I had done it earlier, because there's at least a couple instances that I can think of where that would have been cool. Oh, platforming, watch out. This is not hard to do, but I'm an idiot and I didn't dash jump. And that's what I get for my, not hubris, my stupidity, I think counts. Here's the correct way to do it. Those things fall when you stand on them, but you can dash jump easily. And you can go back without much trouble. Be sure to get that, because that's really good for filling up that sub-tank you just got. So either way, the only reason I started doing those flashback images now is because just on my own time, I've started playing Metal Gear Solid 4, which if you've played that game, or I suppose if you haven't, you can, if you, at certain points in cutscenes when you're reminded of something from a past game, you can hit a button to show a flashback image. I was doing a similar thing. Now how did a little girl come wandering all the way out here? I should have known better than to rely on maverick grunts. You're one of Serpent's men? For a maverick, you sure are chatty. You've done your research. Looks like I can skip the introduction. However, make no mistake, I'm not just a simple puppet like those mavericks. I'm an artificial Mega Man created to draw out the power of the biometal. I'm the Model H pseudoroid, High Volt. Have no fear, it'll all be over soon. You'll just feel a little jolt before you sleep forever. So now we have our second pseudoroid to fight. And the reason that I feel so confident with this guy is because I think he's one of the first pseudoroids you fight during the boss rush at the end. So to preserve my sub-tanks for the fights that were much more dangerous, I got really good at fighting this guy. I've gotten a little bit rusty since then, but I'm still not too bad. And look at that. During that, you hit his wings to damage the biometal, so hitting him during that swooping attack is a really easy way to damage it. Look at that. I managed to hit him without damaging him twice, actually, so it's luck. It's also the fact that Model O's charge slash range, it's more range than just Model Z's. So those attacks would have missed. And that because, okay, not quite yet. He does the laser attack again. And it all depends on where you're standing, so you can bait that pretty easily. And I get a level 4 victory for my efforts. The energy we've produced here is already well on its way to Lord Serpent. All that's left is for him to hack into the Model W core. Poor misguided fool. Your end draws near as a new age is beginning. I'm the biometal of the wind, Model H. Thank you for saving me, young hero. Please, I need your help, Model H. I have to defeat Serpent and prevent the resurrection of Model W. Do you think that will end this? Huh? All of this was started by a single man. Even if you destroy the Model W core and stop Serpent, what's to stop another madman from rising up and taking his place? How am I supposed to know that? What I do know is that Serpent is deceiving all of the people in this country. I'm the only one that sees through it. I can't just let this happen. Those humans we fought so hard to protect hundreds of years ago have been lulled into a false sense of security by the empty promise of peace. But I still believe our fight had meaning. So, young hero, yes, I will lend you my strength. Serpent has separated my data into two halves. There's another pseudoroid with the other part. If you can defeat it, I'll be able to give you my password. And there's our second biometal down. Model H, in ordinary gameplay, Model H is definitely the most useful. And if you've played this game, you probably know, or just could tell from the editing, because I can't do it perfectly. I didn't edit any of that conversation. Since Model Z or X don't talk, I just kind of decided that dialogue fit just fine. And that ends part 5. We're halfway through the first tier of Mavericks, got 2 of the biometals back. And I'll see you in part 6.